A model of the moon in the Chicago Museum, 1894. The moon was well mapped in the 19th century. It has been observed through a telescope since the time of Galileo, and the landing of the first astronaut took place only 75 years later. Unicycle, Germany, 1925. An unusual vehicle that was characterized by poor visibility and handling, as well as a lack of hydraulics. Electricians turn on the lights on the Eiffel Tower, 1937. High above the River Seine, two electricians are installing electric garlands on the Eiffel Tower, which will illuminate the World's Fair at night. A street photographer, Warsaw, 1946. Admiral Byrd's snow cruiser drives through traffic jams. Framingham, Massachusetts, 1939. The snow cruiser is a huge futuristic vehicle designed to explore Antarctica. It was built in 1939. Its length was 17 meters. Its height was almost 5 meters. The author of this unusual frame is Melvin Sokolsky. He is known for his series of bubble shots, where he used glass spheres to create surreal and bizarre photographs. Photographing giraffes at the National Zoo, Washington, USA, 1926. Children set up bowling pins. Before the invention of pin-setting machines, pin spotters, pins were manually placed by children. Pin boys, Great Britain, 1914. Kangaroo versus photographer, England, 1967. Circus performer Fred Loney holds 22 wooden chairs in his teeth. London. The weight of each chair is almost 4 kilograms. Lumberjacks and sequoias, USA at the end of the 19th century. Saw length 32 feet, 975 centimeters. Celebrating the abolition of prohibition. USA, 1933. Prohibition was a period in American history, 1920 to 1933, when the production, sale and transportation of alcoholic beverages were illegal. Women in swimsuits pose with a prize bull. Vancouver, 1927. Class at the Bruce Mozart School of Underwater Photographers, 1954. Bruce Mozart was one of the pioneers of underwater photography. In the early 1940s, he developed special waterproof camera boxes. A California farm where you could swim freely and play with alligators, 1920s. In 1907, Joseph Alligator Joe Campbell and Francis Victor Ernest Sr. opened an alligator farm next to the Los Angeles Film Studio. Newlyweds in traditional Bulgarian rite costumes, Sofia District, Bulgaria, 1892. San Luis Potosi, Mexican Road, 1890s. The nomadic Iranian Baloch people walk past the Buddha statue in Bamyan, Afghanistan, 1933. In 2001, the statues were destroyed by the Taliban, who considered them pagan idols. The head of the Statue of Liberty at the World's Fair in Paris in 1878. In 1886, the statue was donated to the United States. The idea of the statue originated in 1865 as a symbol of friendship between France and the United States. In the Cemetery of Old Cars, USA, Pennsylvania, 1941. Two brands of Studebaker and Graham cars can be seen in the cemetery. These two automotive giants could not survive the Great Depression and sank into oblivion. The inspector of sparkling wines. Steel mesh masks were used for safety when checking champagne bottles. This picture, taken in 1933, shows a certain Amy Peterson, who worked as an inspector of sparkling wines. Dancing divinity, actress, dancer, singer, Jessie Matthews, 1934. Matthews was a very famous dancer and singer in the UK in the 1930s. After filming in a series of musicals and films in the mid-1930s, she became famous in the United States. The Cuban King. Congo, 1947. The Kingdom of Cuba, also known as the Kingdom of Bakuba, was located in the southeast of the modern Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Indian John Smith. It is claimed that he lived 137 years. John was married 8 times, however. Except for the adopted boy Poe, there were no children. A camel in a team. Corner of Leningradskaya and Frunze streets. Zamara. The Zulus and their car. South Africa, 1903. A man on the background of a statue of the Temple of Ramses II, 1856. The statue was carved into the rock during the reign of Ramesses II, circa 1279 to 1213. The last Pamir merchant sailing vessel, 1949. The ship was built in 1905 and made commercial trade voyages. In 1957, it was hit by Hurricane Curry off the Azores and sank. Moonwalk costume. Designed by Republic Aviation Corporation, USA, 1960.